by a soil scientist. On the Marquette property, we propose to do 75 townhomes with access to Russell by improving a portion of the old highway to a cul-de-sac. And then we have emergency access only down to East Cedar Street. To the north of the property, commonly referred to as the Ball property, about 70 acres. We propose to do a 71 lot, single family detached, open space subdivision, 12,000 square foot lots. 70 of those lots are shown here. One lot would actually go to the NBC for a pump station that we have to go. The gray color in this area is what's referred to as the Cedar Mountain Trap Rock Ridgeline. That's depicted idea on this map as defined, I believe, in the zoning regulations, plan of development using MDC topography, and the associated 150-foot setback. I'd like to point out that that Trap Rock Ridgeline actually falls completely on the south property, not on the Marquette property. This is probably a little hard to see. What we depicted here also, just to give some people orientation, in the brownish color are the existing walking trails that are on the property that we, as part of both applications, we propose to enhance, possibly do more walking trails, and we work with the open space committee or whatever committee in town would like to have some input on that. Both properties are served water and sewer by the NBC. The open space subdivision with all the traffic would come out to Russell Road completely, and then when it is both properties, we have another connection down to the highway.
Can you just take your finger and outline the open space?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry. The open space is the dark green color. The lightest green color would represent what would be, future lawn. So for the Valve property, about 73 acres total for the property, 37 and a half roughly would be turned over as open space. That's primarily in this area. And then on the Marquette property, which is about 28 acres, in this area would represent about 10 acres of dedicated open space, and through this corridor would be about another 1.5 acres of orientation we can't do Humane Society system out there.
Dan, you said 48 acres. What's the total between the two properties, the Ball Phones and the Marquette piece? The total how many acres, and the potential donation would be what size again?
For the two properties, that would be 48 acres total. So 30
out of how many total acres?
Out of how many total acres? 73 for Ball and 20, I believe it's 28 for Marquette.
So about 101 total acres, two pieces, and a proposed donation north of 48 acres. Nearly half.
About half.
Show for the public, kind of, you can see where the proposed development would be. Where would be kind of just rail in along the ridge? What would be the primary ridge line, and then I guess the secondary ridge line?
Well, this is defined as the Trap Rock Ridge line. There's a high point if you're downtown orientated in this direction, coming up East Cedar Street. Many people see the NBC water tank as they're coming up East Cedar Street. That sits here. There's a high point that runs from the Marquette property in this direction, and then it drops down to a ravine and back up to what would be a relatively level area, a development area. For the Marquette property, again, we have that central high point to a low point where the wetland is, and then a secondary high point that we preserve, and then there's another high point here that we kind of flatten out and level out for the development area.
In this bulk piece abuts to the north is the state of Connecticut property.
Here.
Questions from town councilors? Council Bennett?
Two questions. One is, how would people act?
Just grab the microphone. Sure.
Two questions. One, how would people access the path, the open space? What I mean to say is that other than walking onto the property, is there any provision for parking, or how, is there another way to access other than walking on?
Yes, we worked with the town to come up with that. One thought was to put a small parking area at the end of what would be the proposed cul-de-sac and allow people coming in this direction. The other idea, the town of Newington actually owned a piece of property right here. Maybe work somehow with the town and put a parking area off Mountain Road on the back on the bottom.
And one other thing.
Right here. Who owns this? Is this open space protection?
Open space protection, small 1.1 acre lot. Whose is that?
This is this isn't a separate lot. This is part of the.
Oh, it is part of it. So that's part of that.
They
Okay.
just delineate this open space from this one because it's not really contiguous.
Okay. Thank you.
Further questions or comments? Councilman Frye.
Thank you, Mayor. Just so we have some perspective, space-wise, say the homes that are in front of that the wetland there, the large piece.
Correct.
So those right there, how far would those be from? Just so I have some perspective as to the size of this. Say those homes to the wetland, the beginning of the wetland. How much space is there?
The wetlands
Right there.
The wetlands in yellow. The 50-foot setback is
So
here.
how far is that half from
And
the home?
the 100-foot setback is right on the rear property line. So there's 100 feet from the rear property line to the yellow line.
And what would be, again, you don't tell me exactly, but approximately those same homes to say the ridge line? What's the distance there?
From here to here?
Yep.
That's
Yeah, to make it.
maybe 800 to 1,000 feet. Yes.
I'm just trying to get some perspective as to the.
That's the scale.
Yes, thank you.
I just have a question because it's very hard for me to conceptualize this, on the mountain. But if you're in Newington Center, say, or coming up the mountain, would you see these homes? Would you see these homes from like Newington Center?
Don't believe so.
I mean, I don't know how high it is.
Well, this would be two-story townhouse construction, single family, probably two-story construction also. I believe